Welcome to Toffee TV. It is your comments for Watford 1, Everton 0. You watched the videos. Thank you. You had your say. Joe has picked probably the first 12 he found because he's a bit lazy. No, the best ones, obviously. Let's get into it. Hen Review says, thanks a lot, boys. I'm glad you enjoyed your trip to Dubai. Spot on. Summarised how we all fans feel. I'm still not asked he went to Dubai, I'll be honest. It's the fact that they went to Dubai and the manager didn't actually do any tactical work. Well, I suppose most of the tactical work would have been done at Finch Farm this week anyway, and the stuff in Dubai would have been, you know, purely working on fitness and patterns of play you'd expect to see in every game. That's the worry, because we don't really have a pattern of play, and certainly did it on Saturday. But yeah, another poor, lightweight,
shite
performance. Yeah, shite, just shite, basically. Andrew Wilson says, while me and sure the majority of Everton fans are aiming for 7th, the manager and the team seem like they aren't asked about results, and as long as they do the bare minimum, that's enough for them. Not even that bothered about another awful performance on the road, because I knew that was pretty much nailed on to happen. These players are mentally weak and just seem to coax their way through the game once we go a goal behind away from home. One thing is for certain, regardless of where we finish this season, we need a shake-up in both player and management departments and get a clear identity blueprint for next season. Andrew, I agree wholeheartedly. I think, or I don't know, you know, the manager thinks, and even if you listen to his comments, he's basically confirmed this, he only really cares about home games. Win your home games. If he doesn't win home games, he'll probably get upset, but win your home games, satisfy the 40,000 people or the 37,000 Evertonians that are there, and that's enough. It doesn't matter what happens away from home. It's almost like out of sight, out of mind, even though we sell out every single game and everyone's watching at home. But that's what it feels like. Win your home games and we'll be fine. It's weird, when he came in, it was like we had to win 1 and 3 to stay up, and we are winning 1 and 3 basically, and that's enough for him. But the pressure will come. What happens if we lose next week? Then we go into Brighton and it's like, got to win this game, got to win it, because the week after we play Stoke in another away game, and it doesn't seem to matter who we play away from home, we set up negatively and are poor. So that puts so much emphasis on those home games. It really does. And there has to be a shake-up everywhere, doesn't it? On and off the pitch. And the worrying thing is, it's not just the manager at Everton, it's the other things that are going on, director of football, and player wise, I just think we need to bring in absolute quality in the summer rather than lots of players. I think we need real quality to take us up a notch, but we'll wait and see if that happens. E-Mobile says, it's getting worse, I can't bear it anymore. Mushere, get your finger out now, get a decent man in who can work the rest of the season, see who he wants and don't want, and have the summer to get the right players, and don't sack him at the end of the season when players are at the World Cup coming back without a proper pre-season. Then the new man has time from now. Get this clown out. We're a fucking laughing stock. I don't think we're a laughing stock, because I just don't think anyone pays attention to us anymore. I don't think. It was funny because I was listening to Gary Neville talk about Arsenal, and I was thinking, I wish someone would talk like that about us, who's sort of unrelated to the club, but no one will, because no one's asked. It doesn't really matter, does it? It doesn't matter what we do. We're not a big team. We're not relevant. We're just coasting, aren't we? We're coasting. So no one's going to say anything about us, and that's the sad thing. The manager situation, if the manager's available right now that he wants, then I would be tempted to go and get him. But I understand from the point of planning that more than anything, not the actual team, but more from a planning side of things, knowing what you're going to do next season, having a man in place. We can't get to the end of the season and go, right, we're going to start all over again. Like you've just said, there's a World Cup, there's many issues that we'll face in the summer. I think we've got to get these things sorted now. There's a real lack of long-term planning at Everton, and it's the only thing we're planning for long-term is to move stadium. So nothing else. Everything else just seems, certainly on the football side, it just seems day by day. It just doesn't seem to, and it's been like that for years. And I don't know, investment should have sorted that, but it hasn't. David Mulvaney says, yes, again, not surprised. I was expecting another defeat anyway. Our players are very poor. Modern football is all about full-backs bombing forward, and our current two have no idea how to get past the halfway line. That makes such a difference. What worries me is that any decent player we sign will turn to crap in the matter of weeks. We are all wrong with our expectations. We have a team of championship players, and I'm being kind saying that about Kenny and Keane. I don't agree. I don't agree with that. Kenny and Keane are not championship players at all. Not a chance. You've just picked two there where I'm scratching my head thinking, why have you just picked them two? Keane is someone who, for me, needs a player next to him who can lead him, who can show him how to be a Premier League player, how to get him through games so he can build confidence up. He's still only a young player, Keane. I'm not excusing him, he's been poor this season. Kenny's 20 and has got less than 20 Premier League appearances, and when he's asked to do the job that he can do, which is go forward, he does it well for me. Does it well. Did well against Crystal Palace second half. Defensively there's still question marks, but he's a young player. There was question marks about Leighton Baines defensively for a long time. There was question marks about James Coleman defensively for a long time, but I wouldn't pick those two out as the examples. I think we've got much worse players than them two. So, but yeah, there's a lot needs to happen. Stephen Powell says, let's be honest, we're not going to, we're never going to be anything more than a mid-table team when we've got Sam Allardyce as our manager and our starting striker as Oumani As. Love how hard he tries, but let's be honest, he should never be starting for us and signing the likes of Mangala. Excuse me. The team is a joke at the moment. No, I think you're right on both men. I think Oumani As has kept his place because he deserved to keep his place, and sometimes you're right, but you're right about you should never, you know, you're never going to be a top side if you're starting centre forward. By all means, squad player in and around the place, but you're right, and you're right about Sam Allardyce. What he thinks he is in his head, he's not, because top managers have a confidence in themselves. I mean, he's certainly got confidence in himself, but they have a confidence in the team as well, and they treat it like that it's an extension of them, and they live and die by that. I mean, you listen to someone like well, you listen to Guardiola, you know, about when he won the cup, and he's talking about like, this is for them, and I win trophies for them, and it's all about the players. And you know, they said, why didn't you go up the steps? And he was like, well, I want to see it from here. And I think in '84, Howard Kendall didn't go up the steps. He just watched with pride, watching his team go up the steps. Whereas I imagine if Allardyce won something, he'd be the first up there wanting the trophy, like it was fucking the NFL or something. Not that he'd ever win anything, of course. And also Mourinho would rather say his mother was a something or other than say his team had played. You know what I mean? He'd rather say the worst thing in the world and make himself look terrible than say the opposition were better or his team were poor, or he'll take all the heat off them when they've been terrible. But Allardyce is just like, well, not my team, not my problem. Well, it is your problem, mate. Caddy Roop says, Baz, harsh on Martino as usual. He did get back. You need to see a counsellor or something. You're a bit fixated. No, he's not fixated. No. Can I just, right. Cuca Martina is not a very good footballer, right? Can we just make that very clear? Why do people keep jumping to his defence? He is not a good footballer, right? If you got a plumber into your house, right, and your house just flooded because of that plumber, you wouldn't sit there and go, well, he tried hard, and actually when he tightened that screw, he seemed to do a good job. No, you'd say he was shit, right? Martina is not a good right back. He's not a good left back either. But we don't get personal. He doesn't pick himself. The manager picks him, right? The manager picks him. And apparently my Outlook settings are out of date. He picks him, but he's not very good. And it's the fact that he's not very good, and the fact that he gets picked is the fact that what we pick up on here. Do you think you know when you've got like 11, when you've got a winning team, let's say, not a losing team, and you've got 10 amazing players, but one player's letting you down, it sticks out like a sore thumb. Look at like City last season with the keeper, Liverpool with the keeper this season. It's clear as day that he's letting them down, so they'll get that sorted. And both of them have got that sorted by the looks of it, or tried to get that sorted. We've got a left back who's not a left back, who stops us attacking down the left wing. And you want to defend him. Why are you defending him? Because he puts a tackle in now and again. No, sorry, no, I don't accept that. And more people who stop accepting it, then we'll stop accepting mediocrity at our club. But you are accepting mediocrity by accepting Martin. I'm sorry, but you're talking shit. Mark Shepherd, when the game's been controlled, Rooney is perfect for unlocking defence. On the road, however, he slows down play. We're less direct and he struggles for 90 minutes. Needs pace width around him. Put alongside Sigurdsson, there's too many central figures. Personified by Martinez's reluctance to get forward. To progress long term, team must be built around Sigurdsson. Played centrally with two wingers. Still a role for Wazza at Everton, but long term isn't effective enough against any of the top six, plus some below. No, I mean, listen, Rooney's the I mean, at home we know Rooney's still really good, and away at the moment I'm not having Sigurdsson in there. I'm not having Schneiderlin in there. And maybe if we had someone who could play in Sigurdsson's position, I don't know, maybe someone like Ademola Lookman or someone like that. I don't know. I mean, it's not a player that we have, so it's one of those things. But if maybe we had more options, then that'd be the case. Or maybe if we bought another centre midfielder, that'd be the case. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe if we had the ex-Ajax captain or you know, like a Dutch international that could maybe play in there instead. I don't know, maybe they could do a job. But what we need, what we need all the time in midfield is a big, strong, aggressive centre midfielder, box to box, who can run a game. But we haven't got one, unfortunately. But you're right about Rooney. I mean, he was poor on Saturday. He gave the ball away far too many times. And he should have been replaced by a centre forward, really. But he wasn't. So Mr. Dominic says we are probably the most stationary and lethargic side in the top two divisions. Even Sunderland occasionally show signs of dynamism, which is wholly absent in our case. Stoke 1-0, Bournemouth 2-1, Watford 3-2 and Newcastle 1-0. We're all lucky wins, but a little less fortunate that we've been has been with us. We would be rotting at the bottom with West Brom. Well, you say that, but that's what football games are. You know, a lot of them are finely balanced, aren't they? So you take your chances in some games. But I agree about the being stationary. There's very little movement. There's still not a lot of pace in the side. Obviously Walcott offers us that now, and he's a great outlet. But it only works if you've got full backs who bomb past, or you know, I don't know, maybe you think about Rooney, going back to the last one, think about Rooney, is he might get, he dwells on the ball maybe because there's lack of options, so maybe it all fits together, do you know what I mean? He's the kind of player who needs runners. When he's at home, when he's got Walcott on the right, or he's got an option of the fullback behind him, or he's got someone bombing down the left, then there's jobs made easy for him, isn't it? But if he's got no movement, he's going to get, you know, he's looking for the hard pass, then he's going to get caught in possession. I mean, I'm not you know, forgiving him there, but like you're saying here, if there's no one moving in front of him, if people aren't making options, it's going to make it very hard for him. So that needs to change. Mr. YouTuber 001 says, Shambolic, useless, unacceptable. It's all been said, we're just repeating ourselves when we have been all season. There seems to be collective depression over this team. In all seriousness, how much more of this bullshit can we take? Every indulgence is given to them. They've just come back from a week in Dubai to bond and work on a plan forward, and on that evidence you could have fooled me. They take and take and take and give us fuck all in return. What a complete waste of everyone's time this lot are. Yeah, it's you know, misery loves company, doesn't it? I mean, they might be more bonded, they might have all been sad together after the match, but unfortunately it's the actual playing of football that actually matters. Let's be honest, the week in Dubai is not going to necessarily solve our away form, but if players don't believe in what they're playing, that's a major problem as well. But that's not excusing them. A few of them need to roll up the sleeves and make things happen, and you don't see enough of that on the pitch. You don't see enough players trying to make things happen, trying to be a little bit different, trying to do something a little bit different. And also there's a lack of, you look at players and you don't, and I know this might be more of a fan thing, but you don't see people hating or getting upset, you know, reacting to the situation, being critical of each other. Some people might say, well, that's a good thing. I don't think it is a good thing. I like to see players bollocking each other now and again if things aren't getting done. Especially Rooney. I'd love to see Rooney giving a fucking few bollockings out. You know, he's played at such a high level, won everything domestically. I think he was, what was he on? He was on BBC, wasn't he, on Saturday morning, talking about standards and desire and all this thing. You think, well, let's see it then on the pitch. Let's see you saying to some of these players, this is not fucking good enough. You know, John Brown says, spot on, Baz. May as well have had them training on New Brighton Beach. You just knew that the warm weather bonding rubbish would fall flat on its face on a -1 temperature in Watford. Utter garbage again away from home, and we will gift Burnley their first win in a dozen games next week. Allardyce has to go. Then I want answers from the board as how they have fucked us over this season when we were supposed to be challenging for the top 6. Well, the irony is, on a -1 game, they should have been running around to get warm, shouldn't they? But they weren't. Which they would have got colder just standing round. It's stupid. Makes a joke of it. No. Again, what can you say? It's one of the worst seasons I can remember, just because of the expectations we placed on it, or the hope we placed on it, thinking we had a plan for these players. We didn't. And then the man who's coming to save us doesn't really have a plan either, does he? Win home games, that's his plan. Shite. Toffee Regan says our away form has become worse than our trophy and Anfield form combined. It's pretty horrendous, isn't it? You know, how can't you win a game away from home? How can you only win one game all season? Why is it that everything you do at home goes out the window away? Why? Because there's not 37,000 Evertonians willing you on. You know, what difference does it make? Why? I've said this a few times. Why do we go away from home and just stop doing what we do at home? Why would we do against sides who are not very good? It doesn't make any sense. It's going to cost us, you know, massively. Whether that, you know, we're only going to get 7th if we win away games. It's as simple as that. We can't get into Europe if we don't win a few away games. It's as simple as that. Because we're not going to win all our own games. So we've got what, 5 home games left. We're not going to win all of them. When you look at the teams, when you look at the likes of City and Liverpool are coming, so we're not going to win all of them. And I think we need at least 5 wins to get us into 7th. So, and that's at least, because, you know, Burnley have got what, 3 points over us. So we'd have to beat them, and then Leicester have got a couple of points on us as well. So, and that's to finish 7th, and you've got, at some point you've got to say, right, we're going to go. At some point you've got to go, I'm not asked about losing this game, because we lose every week away from home. So let's go and try and win it. You know, I just don't understand. I understand if you, you know, if it's sort of like last season where it was like, take a point away, win at home, and that'll get us into 7th. But at this point this season, I'm thinking, who gives a fuck? You know, who cares? What difference does it make? Go and try and win the game for those fans who turn up every single week at away games. Nathan says, just can't wait for this crap to end. A massive waste of time for all the fans watching. I feel the rest of the season will be a waste of time too. Everton at the moment is a constant cycle of disappointment. We need a new manager to break the cycle. Yes, some of the players are to blame, but who's picking the useless fuckers? Who's drilling it into their heads to play with no teamwork? And no, I don't want a rushed appointment. I want them to consider long and hard about their next manager. Well, I'd like to think they've been thinking long and hard for the next manager for a while. That's what you'd expect, wouldn't you? Like from a company where the man at the top is saying there's always going to be money while he's there, and you think there'd be some kind of long-term view of things, of saying, well, this is the prototype manager that we want, and there's X, Y, Z out there who fit that bill, and that's where we're going to go, because this is what we've got, and this is the way we're going, and these are the players coming through, and this is what we've got, and this is who we've bought. You would think that was already established, but it's Everton, so it probably isn't. Yeah, I just want this season over. I want us to just get to I still just want the 40 points. I'm still slightly nervous, but I just want 2 more wins at very, very least. In the next 2 games would be amazing. Win the next 2 and start playing with the freedom, please. And there you go, that's your comments. Thank you as ever. A little bit down this week, not as angry as I thought they'd be. I thought they'd be a bit more sweary, but they weren't. I think, again, apathy, isn't it? It comes so quickly. Thank you as ever for leaving your comments on YouTube. I look forward to reading them after Burnley, after our 2nd away win. Who am I kidding? I'll see you later.